everyone, this is Erin with Five Parks Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga for Tennis Players class. So, as is true with all of my sports-related classes, you do not have to be a tennis player to take advantage of this awesome class. All of these classes just focus on the parts of the body that take the biggest beatings, that need the most love, and need the most strengthening. So, I personally am not a big tennis player, but my dear friend Katie has advised me on the things that are most needed for tennis players. So we're going to be doubling up a lot of wrist and forearm, feet, Achilles, tendon, calf work throughout our practice in our yoga postures. So let's start today in a comfortable seated position. We're going to start with a little bit of breath work and then we'll just get right into it. So you can sit cross-legged or on your shins, whatever works for you, where you can take a nice tall seat with the crown of your head stacked over your shoulders, stacked over your hips. Rest your hands down on your knees, and we're going to take 5 breaths here to establish a slow, steady breathing pace and rhythm. So breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Relax your shoulders away from your ears as you exhale. And then breathe in and out through your nose for 4 more breaths. Take this time to slowly and steadily lengthen your inhale and your exhale with each breath. And this is breath number 2. Breathe in and out. Three, and 4. If they are not already, go ahead and open your eyes. Take your right fingertips to the floor, tent your fingertips. Take your left hand to the top of your head. Start to gently draw your left ear towards your left shoulder. Feel the stretch in the right side of your neck. Return to center, and you're going to switch sides. Tent your left fingertips. Take your right hand to the top of your head. Start to draw your right ear towards your right shoulder. Feel the stretch in the left side of your neck. Release. Take both hands down to the floor. Tent your fingertips. This is going to be a very subtle movement as you slightly bring your chin forward and then down toward your chest. So feel the stretch in the back of your neck and your upper back. If you have a healthy neck, go ahead and take gentle rocks side to side, so little half neck rolls. Okay, and then go ahead and start to bring your chin up, 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 all the way up, so you're stretching through the front of your neck. And just kind of jut your chin up toward the ceiling as you drop your head back. And release. Getting into the shoulders now. Go ahead, this is going to be combo of stretch and strengthening. So bring your arms straight out to the side. Start to rotate your thumbs down and around in a big circle. Maybe your palms actually face up toward the ceiling, and then reverse the direction so your pinky fingers start to come up toward the ceiling. Okay, so big circles here. And go ahead and just increase your pace a little bit, getting some movement in the shoulder joint. Okay, and pick up the pace a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little stretch here. Bring your left arm across the front of your body. Hold on to the back of your arm, back of your shoulder with your opposite hand. Draw your shoulder down. Okay, just a quick stretch here. Switch sides, so bring your right arm across your body, hold on to the back of your shoulder with your opposite hand and draw your shoulder down. Okay, come back to center. We're gonna be doing this with hands in the air, but what it's gonna look like is a big active spreading of the fingers and a tight closing of the fists. You're gonna feel it right away, so strengthening shoulders, forearms, hands, good for your wrists. Bring your arms right up overhead, and just like we did last time, start slow. So squeeze, extend, squeeze, extend. When you squeeze, squeeze as tight as you can, big extension. Okay, now we're gonna start picking up the pace. So you're gonna go a little bit faster. Continue with your slow, steady breaths. Try to avoid holding your breath or panting or anything like that. So even as your movement gets faster, your breath stays slow. Faster, faster if you can. Feel the heat building in your forearms. Feel the strength building in your hands. Okay, for 10, 9, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake it out. Take your hands, interlace your fingers, do a couple of little wrist circles. We're gonna do more wrist stuff later, so this is just a quick little release for your forearms. Switch the cross of your legs. If your legs are crossed, we're gonna just take a couple side bends and twists. So lift your arms up overhead, side bend to the left, take your left hand, maybe forearm, elbow to the floor, reach up and across. And we're gonna be doing some neck work today. So go ahead, if you feel comfortable in your neck, no injuries, look up toward the ceiling. Come back to center and switch sides. So stretch long, keep your shoulder right in line with your hip as you reach up and across your body. Now take your gaze up toward the ceiling. We're gonna be practicing this in all of our postures if possible today. Come back up to center, one twist. Bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand out behind, look out over your shoulder. Gonna be a short hold here. Breathe in back to center and switch sides. Breathe in back to center. Take your hands behind your back. For a chest expansion, interlace your fingers, press your fists down, and then you can hinge at your hips if your hips are open enough, and reach your arms up and overhead. Otherwise, just stay upright and start to lift your arms up off the back of your back. And I'll challenge you here, we'll be doing some of these throughout class, to start to press the palms of your hands towards one another. It's okay if they don't touch, but we're building strength in our fingers and our hands, flexibility in our shoulders and our chest. Come all the way back up. Release your hands, make your way to a tabletop position. From our tabletop position, let's take a couple more wrist stretches. So spread your fingers nice and wide, start to rock your weight forward and back. Forward and back, and again. And this is 5. Switch your hands so your fingers face backwards, but your shoulders are still over your wrists. Forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now take the tops of your hands onto your mat, fingers face each other. Do not put a lot of weight in your hands, okay? You gotta be gentle. We're very rarely on the tops of our hands. Now start to rock back and forth for 5, 4, don't dump all your weight into your arms, 3, gotta be gentle with those bones on the back of your hand. And this is our last one. Good, now place your hands back so your fingers face forward, wrist creases face forward, and let's take 3 rounds of cat and cow. So opening up the front and back side of your body as you breathe in, drop your belly, and as you breathe out, round your spine. And this is round 3, breathe in. Come back to tabletop position. So we're gonna move into spinal balance from here. So extend your right arm forward and your left leg back. We'll be doing kind of intermittent core work throughout our class. So nice, strong core here as you draw your belly button back towards your spine. Breathe in, exhale, round, elbow to knee, and again, elbow to knee. Last time, elbow to knee. Okay, now listen here. So extend, keep your left leg lifted, place your right hand on the floor, and then you're gonna take all of your weight onto your right side, right shin, right hand, lift your left leg up. So you're in a modified side plank here. Let's take a nice long stretch for the side of the body by reaching left hand forward, really stretch through your fingertips, and then go ahead and kick your leg back, take hold of your left foot with your left hand. Nice rounding in your spine, or flexion in your spine, excuse me, and then option to take your gaze up, stretching and strengthening your neck, and challenging your balance as well. With control, extend your left leg long, lift your left arm up, and release. Let's take those exercises on the other side. So spinal balance first. Extend your left arm forward and your right leg back. Hold here. Tighten up through your core. One long line from your fingertips to your toes. Breathe in. Exhale, round. For 3, extend. 2, 1, extend. Place your left hand on the floor, but keep your right leg lifted. Bring all of your weight onto your left side so you can kick that left foot out. Modified side plank. Active through your toes. Extend your right arm forward so you get a stretch through your whole right side. Okay, and then for this modified Chapasana, you're gonna bend your right leg, take your hand, reach around for your foot. Start to kick your foot back so you have this nice little back bend, front body opener. Take your gaze up if you can. If you feel really off balance, just keep your gaze down. Release back to modified side plank. Release back to tabletop. Make your way to downward facing dog. Tuck all 10 toes under. Press your hips up, release your heels down towards your mat. Take 3 breaths in this downward facing dog. Any movement here is welcome. Bending and straightening your legs one at a time, shaking out, wobbling your head. Press both heels down toward the floor. Shift your weight forward so you're in high plank position and hold your high plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press back to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Bend your legs a lot. We're gonna come into ragdoll for a neck and spinal release. Press your torso on your thighs. Again, legs are bent. Now, take your opposite hand to opposite elbow and sway side to side, and then we'll do an additional neck stretch. But first, just let gravity do its work, releasing the crown of your head down toward the floor, lengthening the back of your neck and your spine. Okay, now from here, just come back to center, dangling over your legs, and then take both hands and take hold of the back of your head. And now, additional weight. Let the weight of your arms traction your spine even more, creating more space between each vertebra. Should especially feel this in your neck. Good sensation, no pain, of course. Right, from here, take your hands, release them down towards your mat. Begin to straighten your legs and come up to a halfway lift. Your legs can still be bent if needed, that's perfectly fine, but we're just working in that direction. As you exhale, now you're coming into forward fold, so legs are a little bit more straight if you can, stretching your hamstrings. Again, breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out to fold. Breathe in, rise up to tall mountain. So reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take one breath here, in and out through your nose. And we're just gonna take 5 rounds of sun salutations. So building heat within the body, just traditional sun salutations, nothing too fancy, all right? So breathe in, reach your arms up overhead, maybe look up towards your fingertips. As you exhale, cactus your arms for this first one. So nice chest expansion as you draw your elbows down, lift your gaze. Breathe into tall mountain. Breathe out, hinge from your hips, come into standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on your mat, step back, high plank pose. Exhale, lower down. You can come all the way to your belly or halfway down. This is called chaturanga pose. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra if you're laying on your belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take one breath in, one breath out. Round 2, look toward your hands. Step walk or float to the front of your mat. As you exhale, find forward fold. Tall mountain, and this time on our exhale, we're gonna go straight back to standing forward fold. So hinging from your hips. Nice long straight spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step walker back or float back through high plank to low plank. Upward dog to downward dog. Take one breath in. Exhale. Round 3, look towards your hands, step walker float. Forward fold, tall mountain, forward fold, halfway lift, chaturanga, high plank to low plank, upward dog, downward dog, breathe in and out. Come to the front of your mat. Exhale to fold. Tall mountain, rise up. Standing forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, breathe in. And out. Last one, at your own pace, in silence, listen to the sound of your breath as you flow through each movement. So look toward your hands and come to the front of your mat as you breathe in. Make your way to extended child's pose for 3 breaths. Bring your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, walk your hips back towards your heels, walk your hands forward. Rest your forehead on your mat. Listen to the sound of your breath as it flows in and out through your nose for 3 breaths. From here, stretch for your triceps. Keep your elbows on the floor. Connect the palms of your hands together. Bring your hands to the back of your head. Take one breath here. For the backs of your shoulders, extend your right arm long. Slide your left arm underneath your right. Come onto your left shoulder and left ear. Feel the stretch in the back of your left shoulder. Breathe in and out. Switch sides. Left arm extends long on your mat. Slide your right arm underneath your left. Come onto your right shoulder and your right ear. So you're resting the weight of your head on your mat. Breathe in and out. Extend your right arm long. So both arms are extended on your mat. From here, you're just gonna kind of drag yourself forward. So it's gonna be forearms, elbows. Now take your forehead, nose, chin, chest, Extend your legs long and press all the way up to a high cobra pose. So this is a stretch for the front of your body. Slight bend in your elbows. Take your chin to your right shoulder. Take your chin to your left shoulder. Come back to center. Tuck all 10 toes under. Lift your knees up off your mat so you're in an upward facing dog with tucked toes position. Using core strength, start to lift up nice and slow and make your way to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your right leg up. Open your hip and bend your leg. Take one circle of your foot in one direction. Switch directions. Level your hips, straighten your right leg. One time, bring knee to nose, round your spine. This is a core strengthener here. Extend three-legged dog out behind you. Bring your knee to your nose again, but this time step your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee down onto the floor. Bring both arms up overhead. So this is crescent moon pose. Once again, connect the palms of your hands above your head. Bring your thumbs to the back of your head. Another tricep stretch here. Start to press your elbows up, bend back. Come all the way back up to center. Extend your arms up and then cross for a twist. Hands to heart center. Left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee. Press the palms of your hands together. Maybe look back toward the back of your mat. Come back to center. Release your hands to your mat. Half splits pose. Start to straighten through your right leg. Fold over your right leg. Experiment with flexing your toes. So this will stretch your Achilles tendon in your calf and strengthen your shin. And all the while you're getting your stretch in your hamstring. Okay, now come forward, low lunge pose. So tuck your toes, lift your knee off of your mat. Lift your arms up overhead for crescent lunge. Okay, so we're gonna work in stability, balance, and some hip work. All right, so you can take it as slow as you need to go. This is gonna be a repetitive movement. So take all of your weight onto your right foot, step forward and bring your left knee into your chest. So you're gonna interlace your hands around your knee. Try to bring your knee up towards your left shoulder. It's not gonna look the same for everyone, but I want you to feel compression in your left hip. Now try, without setting your left foot down, to come back to crescent lunge. So you're gonna float your foot back, big step, lift your arms up, find crescent lunge, and then do it again. You're gonna step forward, balance, squeeze, balance, 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 back to crescent lunge, step back. Get those wrists right over your shoulders, and again. Squeeze, crescent lunge. Ooh, okay. Now from here, you're going to hinge forward, reach back, airplane lunge. Reach, crescent lunge, come back. This time, airplane pose, balance. Lift your left foot up off the floor, reach back. Crescent lunge, step lightly back, lift your arms up. Warrior two, hang in there with that right leg. Okay, so we're fatiguing this right leg, building strength in our quadricep. From warrior two, we're gonna take cow face arms. So bring your right arm up and over, clasp your hands behind your back. If you can't clasp your hands behind your back, go ahead and take your left hand to your right elbow. Take one more breath here, warrior two with cow face arms. Extend your arms long for warrior two. Take your arms up for 5-pointed star. Toes point out, arms reach up. Take your hands to your heart. Squat down. Hold here, static hold. Okay, we're gonna try this out. You can keep your hands at your heart center, or you can take them to the floor. Side lunge to the back of your mat onto your left leg. You can lift your right toes up off the mat. Feel the stretch in your right inner thigh. Feel the strength building in your foot. And then let's take this into a little twist. So take your left hand down towards your mat. Reach your right arm up. Look up toward the sky or the ceiling. Bring your hands back to heart center if you can. If not, just keep your hands on the floor to help you in your balance. And take a side lunge to the front of your mat. Establishing your balance here. Feel the stretch as your left toes reach up. Feel the stretch in your left inner thigh. And for the little mini twist, take your right hand to the floor. Reach your left arm up. Bring your hands back to your heart. Rotate to the front of your mat so you're in a low lunge position. And then step back to high plank. Hold high plank and start to do knee taps. Right, left, right, left. 8, 7, and this is 1. Okay, one last movement here for your core. Come onto your right side for side plank. Lift your left arm up, okay? We're gonna take a twist to build strength and flexibility. Take your left hand underneath your right side and reach, twist and reach. And lift, we're just doing it 3 times. So this is 2, twist, twist. Switch sides, come on to side plank on your left side. Lift your right arm up, twist. Right hand comes underneath your left side. For 3, 2, 1. And then high plank, down dog. Alrighty, on this side, lift your left leg up. Open your hip, bend your leg. Take a big circle in one direction with your foot and the other direction. Okay, level your hips, straighten your leg, knee to nose 1 time, round your spine, core strengthener. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog, knee to nose, and this time you're gonna step your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. For crescent moon pose, lift your arms up overhead, connect the palms of your hands, take the opposite cross of your thumbs. Take your thumbs to the back of your head. Start to lift your elbows up. Take a little back bend here, maybe lift your gaze. Come back to center. Reach your arms up overhead and you're gonna twist. Bring your hands to your heart, right elbow to the outside of your left knee, maybe look back toward the back of your mat. So deep twist in your torso. Unwind from your twist. Take your hands to the floor. Straighten your left leg for Ardha Hanumanasana. Experiment with flexing your toes back so you feel the stretch in your Achilles tendon and your calf. Fold over your left leg to get a deeper stretch in your hamstring, the back of your left leg. Make your way forward to low lunge. So you're gonna tuck your toes under, lift your knee up off the mat. Establish your balance in your feet here and then come up to crescent lunge. Okay, so get your wrists over your shoulders, over your hips. Same thing on this side, nice, slow, and steady. Step forward without dragging your foot. Bring your knee in toward your chest, hands around your knee. Now try to bring your right knee up toward your right shoulder so you get a deep compression in your right hip here, building stability and balance in your left leg. And control, can you continue to breathe steady? Step back, crescent lunge. And again. And again. This is our last time. Squeeze it in tight. Breathe in, crescent lunge. Breathe out, airplane lunge. Hinge forward, reach back, engage your triceps. Neck is nice and long. Breathe in, crescent. Breathe out, balance on your left leg. Airplane pose, so lift your right leg up off the floor and hold it. Step lightly back, crescent lunge, breathe in. Warrior two. Warrior two with cow face arms on this side. Left arm up and over. Either right hand to left elbow or hands clasped behind your back. Keep your neck nice and long. Straighten your left leg, reach your arms up, 5-pointed star. Toes point out, palms face out. Hands to your heart, come into your squat. Okay, twist in your spine, bring your hands to your knees, thumbs face in, breathe in. Breathe out, dip your left shoulder in, look to the right. Stretch your inner thighs, twist your spine, come into center. Switch sides. Back to center. Hands to your heart, reach up, 5-pointed star. Take your heels behind your toes, hinge from your hips, standing forward fold. So like we did in the beginning of the class, if you feel balanced, go ahead and take your hands to the back of your head. Let the weight of your arms pull the crown of your head a little bit closer to the floor. Come up to a halfway lift. Take your hands, wrists face each other. Place your hands on your mat, spread your fingers wide, and then just rock side to side, bending and straightening your elbows. Hands are around hip, shoulder distance apart. And then same thing as we did at the beginning of class, tops of your hands, very little weight, rock side to side. Up to 5-pointed star. Return to your prayer squat with your hands at heart center. With control, see if you can keep your hands at your heart. Side lunge to the back of your mat. Flex your toes up. Feel the stretch in your left inner thigh. Side lunge to the front of your mat. Flex your toes up, feel the stretch in your right inner thigh. Low lunge to the front of your mat, so rotate. So your left knee is right over your left ankle. High plank. Maybe a chaturanga if you'd like. Upward dog and downward dog. Breathe in. And out. Lift your right leg up. Step forward to low lunge. We're gonna do a couple balances on this side now. So inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, either airplane lunge or airplane, your choice. And this time make your way to staff pose. So you can have your leg bent 90 degrees, or you can straighten your legs, reach your arms up overhead and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eagle. Left leg over right, left arm underneath right. You can either kickstand your legs by placing your toes on the floor, wrap them around. You can either connect the palms of your hands or hug your shoulders. Start to lift your arms up so they're parallel with the mat. Feel this stretch here. Draw your elbows down and in. Feel the stretch in the tops of your shoulders. Come back to staff, unwinding your legs, reaching your arms up, standing pigeon, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Nice hip stretch here as you sink down. All the way back up, standing staff. Float your left leg back, low lunge. Foot and hands return to the mat at the same time, so slow, steady movements. High plank back to chaturanga if you'd like, or down dog. Breathe in and out. Let's balance on the other side. Lift your left leg up. Step your foot between your hands. Step onto your left foot. Come into standing staff. Come into crescent lunge. Got to balance first. Airplane lunge or airplane pose on your left leg. Standing staff now. So bringing your right leg through. Leg bent or straight. Arms reach up. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eagle pose, right leg over left, right arm underneath left. Either kickstand your leg or wrap it around. Hold here. Lift your arms up so that they're parallel with the floor. Squeeze your elbows down and in. Feel the stretch in the tops of your shoulders. Standing staff. Unwind. Kick out. Standing pigeon. Right ankle over left knee. Hands to your heart. Sink down. Extend back to staff. Leg bent or straight. Float, low lunge. So your foot and your hands return to the mat at the same time. Make your way back to down dog. You can take a chaturanga if you'd like. Look toward your hands. Step or jump your feet to the outside of your hands. Come down into squat. Elbows to knees, hands to heart. Good for opening up the low back, stretching out the hips and the inner thighs. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. From this position, take your hands to your mat, but keep your right foot where it is. Step your left foot straight out behind you. So you're in a wide-legged low lunge with your foot at an angle. Place your left knee down on the floor. Keep your left hand where it is. You can either have your toes tucked or flat, and take your right hand to your right knee. Start to press it open as you twist your spine. Look up or back. Reach your right arm around, bend your left leg, take hold of your foot, and start to draw your foot in, stretching out your quadricep, your hip flexor. Release your left foot down. Take your hand back to your mat. You're gonna lift your right leg up to three-legged dog. So big stretch up and back. Now take your right foot between your hands and begin to straighten your right leg for extended pyramid pose. So fold over your right leg. Left heel stays lifted in this posture. We're gonna transition from this posture, extended pyramid, to triangle pose. So all you're gonna do is place your left heel on the floor now. Take your right hand to the inside of your right foot and just rotate open, lifting your left arm up. Now, if you can't have your hand on the floor in this position, go ahead and rest it on your shin or the top of your leg. just very little weight wherever you are. So you're using your core strength. Now let's stretch the side again by lifting or reaching your left arm forward. And then for core triangle, building core strength, take your right hand like you're holding a basketball, palms face each other for 3, 2, 1. Use all of your strength. Lift that basketball all the way up. Toes face out, 5 pointed star. Take your hands to your heart, sink down into your squat. Okay, building strength in the calf, flexibility in the feet. Lift your right heel up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down. Switch sides. Left heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down. 5 pointed star. Warrior 2, face the front of your mat. Stretch back, reverse warrior. So stay low in your front leg and just stretch your right side. Low lunge. Chaturanga or down dog, your choice. Look toward your hands. Maybe this time, if you didn't do it last time, you want to float. Try to land lightly in malasana or garland pose. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to build a little bit of heat in the hips. We won't stay here for very long, but we're going to start to lift and lower. So when you lift, just bring your torso so it's parallel to your mat. Look down and lower. Lift and lower. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Release your hands to your mat and keep your left foot where it is. Step back, wide-legged low lunge. Your toes remain at an angle. Take your right knee to the floor. Option to untuck your toes if you want. Take your left hand to your left knee. Start to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot and twist. Take your gaze up or back. For the quadricep stretch, bend your right leg, reach around with your left hand, draw your heel in, gentle release of your right foot to the floor, bring your left hand back underneath your left shoulder, 3-legged dog, stretch it up and back. This is our last push for our standing poses. Step your foot between your hands. In preparation for extended pyramid pose, begin to straighten your left leg. Fold over your left leg. Your back heel remains lifted off your mat at this point. It's pressing down toward it. And let's transition from this position to triangle pose on the left side. So place your right heel on the floor. Bring your left hand now to the inside of your left foot. It could be on the floor, it could be on a block, it could be on your shin, it could be on your quad. Wherever your hand is, start to open your chest to the side. So you're lifting your right arm up. Okay? Very little weight in your left hand, wherever it is. I didn't cue this on the other side, but look up towards your fingertips. Stretching and strengthening your neck. Bring your left arm parallel to your mat. Palm faces up. Bring your right arm up and over. Palm faces down. Core triangle for 3, 2, 1. Rise up, 5-pointed star. Hands to your heart, prayer squat. Lift both heels up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5-pointed star. Warrior 2. For the side stretch, stay low in your lunge. Reverse your warrior. Stretch through your left side. Low lunge. Down dog. Chaturanga if you want. Come down onto your shins. Keep your toes tucked, all 10 toes tucked for toes pose. Really, really good for your feet. Make sure each toe has contact with your mat. Rest your hands, palms face down on your thighs. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. Start to breathe deeply in and out through your nose. And release. So come down onto your hands, give your toes a little shake, gentle, gentle shake. Then we're gonna stretch out the shins and the fronts of the feet. If you have healthy feet and ankles, sit all of your weight back on your heels and begin to rock your knees up off the floor so that you feel a stretch, shins and ankles. Again, only if you have healthy feet. Okay, if this is like a bad pain, don't do this pose. Again, just like the tops of your hands, a little more fragile on the front of the feet. So be mindful, be careful, be gentle. And release your shins back down onto your mat. Cross over your ankles, come to a seated position, and take 2 seated stretches. So first we're going to take butterfly pose. Take the soles of your feet together. Take your hands around your ankles. Sit up nice and tall, and from here, hinging from your hips, you can start to press your elbows into your knees. Release from your fold. Extend your right leg to the right at a 45-degree angle. Bring your left foot to your right inner thigh with a twist and a side stretch. Your right hand to your left knee or toward your left knee, and reach your left arm up and over toward your right toes. Okay, so stay long in the side of your body. Try to avoid rounding and hunching to take hold of your toes. So I'd rather have you stay lifted and lengthened. And then just simply rotate your torso over your leg. Bring your forehead towards your knee. It's okay if it doesn't touch. And let's switch sides. So bring your left leg out to an angle, right foot to left inner thigh. Twist and side stretch. On this side by bringing your left hand towards your right knee. Right hand up and over towards your left toes. You can either hold onto your knee, rest your forearm down. You can bind your toe if you can reach, as long as you can stay lifted and lengthened in your right side. Okay, now rotate your torso so it's over your left leg, forward bend over your left leg. Bring your forehead toward your knee, just in that direction. Release from your fold. From here, you're gonna lay down on your back with your legs bent. So your feet come flat to the floor at hip distance apart, arms reach out in front of you, and you're gonna lower down onto your back for our final postures. Take it nice and slow, just a tiny little bit of core strengthening going on here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna take another chest expansion here as an option. So bridge pose is the pose we're doing next. Lay down on your back, take your hands or your arms alongside your body, press into your heels and lift your hips up. If you want to take this chest expansion, you're going to take your hands underneath, interlace your fingers like we did at the beginning of class, And then option to roll one at a time onto the backs of your shoulders. And just notice a little more height you get, opening in your chest, and try to press your palms towards one another. It's okay if they don't touch. Just building strength in your hands, openness in your shoulders. And of course, this posture strengthens the glutes, flexes the spine. Lower down onto your back. We're going to take supine pigeon today. So this is a hip stretch. We did this standing on one leg. Now we're going to do it on our back. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Lift your left foot up off the floor and take hold of your thigh or your shin. Draw your legs in toward your body. Flex your toes back toward your knees. Release your left foot down onto the floor. We're going to take a twist. So if you want to, you can take pigeon twists. Just release your right knee down towards your mat. If you don't like this variation of twist, you can always stack your knees. Rest both shoulders flat on the floor. Breathe deeply in and out through your nose. Switch sides. So come back to center, plant your right foot on the floor, left ankle over right knee. Lift your foot up off the floor, take hold of your thigh or your shin. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees, draw your knees in towards your chest. Place your foot down on the floor and twist. Bring your left sole of your foot to the right, or you can stack your knees if you prefer. Deep breaths here. Release from your twist. Bring your knees toward your chest. Separate your knees and feet for happy baby pose. You can hold here in stillness, or you can rock side to side, whatever feels better. Hug your knees into your chest and prepare yourself for Shavasana. So extend your legs long on your mat. Rest your arms down alongside your body. Breathe in through your nose. Release your breath through your mouth. Back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Let your body be really heavy. The weight of your body be supported by the earth. If you have the time, please enjoy your Shavasana for even longer. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste.